what was out there in the night sky, stared up at the stars in the hopes of seeing something out of the ordinary? Have you heard unexplainable noises coming from a vacant room, or watched a shadow cross the wall in front of you? Have you asked yourself if there is life after this one, or if you had life before? What about strange creatures that are mythical and elusive? Have you experienced deja vu or felt a prompting to leave because you felt you were in danger? If you have, you were on the fringe. All right. Welcome to the first show of the year of On the Fringe, guys. I'm Philip.
I'm Mark.
I'm
Jess.
All right.
Hey, quit talking
Got
over
it.
me.
Tonight is the first night we're streaming over on the Fringe on the YouTube channel. We also have our What If Tomorrow YouTube channel up just to kind of give people time. I think we're going to finish out the month streaming this show on What If Tomorrow as well to kind of give people time to shift over. And again, I mean, normally we're on Facebook on the What If Tomorrow podcast group. We're just going to leave it there because we're all kind of under the same umbrella. So welcome again to the first show of the year. We figured we'd kick it off this year with predictions for 2024. We're kind of looking at it and having fun. Just a fun little show for, you know, like a National Enquirer predictions or whatever, just crazy, stupid stuff like that. We're just going to have fun tonight. We were kind of talking backstage though with this whole we don't know a lot about it yet. We're checking it out. I just heard about it last night, but these aliens in the Florida Mall. And none of us really knew a lot about it. We just kind of heard a little bit about it. So I think we might do some looking into it. I know a lot of them have been debunked, saying, you know, it was a bunch of kids causing problems and all that. But the thing is like Mark said backstage, was there's not really a lot of video footage. So they're scrubbing it. So it leaves a lot of questions to be answered. But you know, with technology today, you don't know what to believe. You know, Enzo said it's just kids throwing fireworks around. And that's a possibility, but I find it intriguing to maybe look into it some more. So let's see. Let's do our due diligence if I can find it here. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. And I did. I'm out of practice, guys. It's been a couple weeks, a month. Because the planned last show for the What If Tomorrow podcast, I was sick. We're coming down. Was RSV just like flew all around work and everybody went down, man. It was just, it was like dominoes. People were just falling out left and right.
Dropping like flies we were.
Plus we were working a ton of hours and I was tired and
you both ended up with it, didn't you?
What's that?
Pretty much everybody
you
worked.
And Mark did. Got it.
Yeah, everybody in our area did.
Goodness.
It just, people were dropping like flies. But we powered through and got done with the end of the year. Thank God. It was a rough end of the year, and now we're back. So, but yeah, I'm going to run this real quick and help out the show.
Hey, this is Mark with What If Tomorrow and What If Tomorrow on the Fringe. Be sure to check out our website, whatiftomorrowmedia.com, and look at our cool merch. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, posters, and more. Our affiliates are Duke Cannon, EMP Shield, My Patriot Supply, and Conflicted the Game. Or check out buymeacoffee.com/whatiftomorrow and buy us a coffee. As always, be sure to like, comment, and share on both Facebook and YouTube. It helps get our content out to others and help our channel grow. Now on with the show.
Yeah, definitely. If you would please, support the show, help us out, because of course this isn't free, and it'll just help kind of cover our operating cost, if you want to call it that. I mean, yes, this is a hobby, but it can be a little bit pricey at times. I forgot what I was going to say after this, but but welcome to the new year, guys. So, I mean, everybody kind of
every day is a new year. Right
absolutely. It is. The whole was it new me and all that stuff. I mean, everybody's seen the supermarket tabloids and all that with coming predictions for 2024 and all that. So we're gonna share some that we found, and I think Mark's got a couple he wants to share for himself, and it
Yeah,
kind of
that
makes sense to me.
that I
It's
made up. Yeah.
probably I mean, probably better than the other options. Let's see. I will start off with this one here. It's Nikki Allen. She's Britain's best psychic, predicts a shift to the fifth dimension in 2024. That's one of hers. There's a lot of on that whole spiritual realm. Once she was a guest, Carrie Ann Peters. Does that sound right?
Fields.
Carrie Ann Fields. Yeah, Carrie Ann
Carrie Ann
Fields. She was
Fields.
on here last summer before, something like that. And that whole, I lack of a better term, the whole new age kind of belief system. A lot of people are actually talking about shifting to that fifth dimension, how the earth is shifting. So maybe that's part of it, maybe not. Plausible, I don't know. I don't know a lot about it. I find it intriguing, but I don't know enough to say one way or another. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
If it does, I wonder if CERN will have something to do with it.
Go ahead, Jess.
I think there's some new CERN info that Jess has. Yeah.
I don't know if we want to bring down the house that fast. This is supposed to be kind of like a party, right?
Oh
God.
Let's let it rain fire and brimstone.
Let's kick the new year off with a bang.
Okay, so I don't know if everybody knows this, so I'm just going to say it. So CERN has been running the the Hadron Collider that we all know, the one that they kicked on in 2012. They have been running that in packages. So they run a package, then they shut down, they prep for the next one, and they've been gaining and gaining and gaining. And this is the last year for that collider. After this, they're going to shut down, and they're currently working on their new one, which is the high luminosity large collider. That is, I don't know how many miles huge. It's going to get insane. But this is the last big round for the collider we have now. And in my opinion, doing some stupid stuff with it this year. So just so everybody knows, when it states luminosity, a luminosity is a count of how many collisions happen within the collider within a set amount of time, depending on the experiment. The colliders they first started out with had very few collisions, and they have since built it up. And this year in 2024, hold on, like I wrote down the exact number so you guys could freak out properly. Okay. So we are currently in phase or run 3. The luminosity times will be a factor of 3, which means it's going to produce about 3 million collisions every time frame.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
In which case, I think it's like a third of that will create Higgs bosons. So
wow.
Just think about, yes, the very unstable Higgs boson. They're literally just sitting there making them.
That's
over
crazy.
and over again. Yeah. So they're going to run that all the way through summer this year, and then they're going to shut it down. And then by 2028, the high luminosity large collider will be prepped and ready. And 2029 is when they're going to kick that baby on, and it will have a luminosity factor of 15.
Wow.
And what's the luminosity factor now again?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Mm.
They'll be
So it'll be
they'll
5
be
times.
bosons literally just like that.
So
I am
definitely
Kelly.
I was like, what the hell was that? Fifth dimension is here.
Yeah.
I am the
So
Smurf. Kelly.
it gets crazier. Oh my goodness. It gets crazier. So that'll be it for 2024. But if you want to look forward to 2029 when they kick on the super duper collider, not only are they going to be producing these Higgs bosons just consistently every day, but they're going to start something called the phaser experiment, the forward search experiment, and the scattering and neutrino detector tests. And that's going to explore these new physics they've been coming up with beyond the regular standard model. And it's going to measure how antimatter forms. It's going to explore the physics of cosmic rays and the strange state of matter called quark gluon plasma, which is basically the primordial soup that was made right after the Big Bang.
Oh, wow.
They're going to
Hmm.
recreate it all.
Why do we want to do that?
Yeah, that's
You know, there
I don't
used
think
to be
it's
a
a
lady
we
that I
thing.
watched that worked at
what's up,
CERN,
Sylvian?
and I have not seen her in months. I did not even think about that until you started bringing that up. Wonder where she went.
Hmm.
Have to see if I can find her.
No, I
Yeah,
don't
so
think we need to do any of those things. I was making fun of it, but they do have a statue of Kali the Destroyer out in their front yard.
Yeah.
But that
I
doesn't mean
will,
anything.
yeah, I will
You
put
That
this
doesn't
out
mean
there.
anything, no.
So you four know, and I'm sure some of our audience knows because they've heard us talk about it before, but Mr. Stain
Yes, Mr. Stain.
from the whole Mandela effect said he was the traveler and was warning everybody to get rid of their cell phones. And he said to watch out for 2028, 2029, because that's when it all goes down. So
Great.
just gonna heads up.
We're getting close.
That
Maybe head on over and watch the What If Tomorrow podcast on, survival training. So
that
Stock
brings to
up on
mind
ammunition and canned goods.
yeah.
the whole
Yes.
the whole Project Looking Glass.
Yes.
The event in 2030. That's where the timelines converge.
It sounds like you're setting it up.
That's
Mhm.
that kind of sounds eerily
Yeah.
Eerily familiar, yes.
yeah. It just seems like it's a stair step or a stepping stone, I guess you could say. So that seems really bad, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
That's a good term for it, actually.
Yeah.
Really, really bad.
Yeah. Not to mention, I mean,
That's-
what are we going to see? I mean, if the thought process behind the Mandela effect is, with all this stuff being created in 2012, what else is it going to cause? Is it going to speed up the Mandela effect? Is it going? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I think it's already speeding up
yeah, I do too.
consistently. We know now that they're creating Higgs bosons all the time now.
Mhm.
Didn't tell it. I don't know if they really truly came out and said, "Hey, this is what we're doing." I think everybody was under the impression that they made the one.
Right.
And now they're like studying it and they've been studying it ever since, and that's absolutely not true.
Well, it
And
doesn't last very long, so they've got to make more to study it.
yeah, it's only there for just a split second, but
Fraction of a second, yeah.
just like
But
But you put
Yeah.
enough back to back to back, that's gonna,
back to
do
back to
they
back.
yeah.
do they
How?
think that with their experiments ramping up, do you think they're trying to make it to where the Higgs boson is around longer? Has a more extended time.
Mhm.
Maybe, or maybe they're just retarded and
They
they
get
just
it in the
keep
combo
ending
line long enough.
they
it'll do
keep
it.
ending our lines over and over and over again. I wonder
Well,
when
I'm
we'll
gonna
run out.
throw out a bit of wisdom here. I don't freak out. But there are many intelligent people who are utter fools.
Mhm.
And some of the wisest
Absolutely.
people I know are not that intelligent.
Yep.
But they still know better than that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just because you have an education and IQ of 300 does not make you wise.
Not smart enough to come in out of the rain.
Right.
And be like turkeys out there drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least they're gonna stop the run after this, after 2024. So, like, I think, end of summer is their shutdown point, and we should have a few years quiet without them running that.
I'd be interested. I mean, I'm interested in to kind of monitor that and kind of watch it and see what happens when they shut it down.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
I
that would
mean,
be interesting.
I keep having these incidences where I feel like I've slipped into another timeline. Is like, did that really happen? Because yesterday I remember it being this, and
You know what's interesting? Greg and Dana Newkirk. I follow them, and I know Jess does too. I'm not sure if everybody else is familiar with them, but they run the Haunted Objects podcast, and they're pretty big in the paranormal world. And they were talking in Fireside Chat last night about some of the things that they were doing in 2024, and one of them is that they have been working on creating these new pieces of equipment, and they got a few of them done. And Greg was like, the interesting part, they're not ready to talk about what they are yet. They said that they will, and when they do, we will know. But he said the interesting thing about these is once they were done, it just like set off something in their heads. It was like, oh, well, that's why, because of what we've created here and what it does, that's why this has been coming up the way it has been. And things are starting, synchronicities are falling into place for them. And he said that they have 2 photos that he knows of, that there are things in those photos that were not in there prior to this being done. So even in their, and they're not big Mandela effect people at all. They don't really ever discuss it. For them to say, you know, that this is happening and they are feeling shifts too. I thought that was pretty interesting.
that is. Are those the people that do Hellier and stuff?
Hellier.
yes,
Okay.
that's
Yep.
exactly who
Okay.
that is.
Sure is. The unbinding. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
they're not, they don't put a lot of focus on the multidimensional thing. But so for them to say that, I was like, I can't wait to see what it is they build, because they've got what they can't build. They've got some really good friends that do know how to build stuff. So
That's cool.
yeah.
That's cool. And that kind of ties into her next prediction. She says souls will dissipate and are healed by celestial beings and reincarnate after death. People are greeted by loved ones and given a house in a serene setting with the option to reincarnate after 3 generations. Psychic predicted floods and devastation in England on November 2nd. So that's a whole I just lost my train of thought here. The whole 5th dimension. We're talking dimensional things here with CERN, with them, the Hellier people.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
It is. It's starting to like ripple across the entire community.
Yeah. And I've kind of been on this kick of watching NDEs, people's experiences and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This was a few weeks ago. I mean, like I kind of checked out of everything the last week. I've been on vacation. I dumped everything. I barely even got on my phone. Just checked out, to kind of give myself time to reset. But a lot of the NDEs, and there was actually a study done on people that were about to die, and they put them up to or on a brain monitor. There was, I can't remember, I want to say 5 or 6 people, and when they died, all the areas in their brain lit up like ours would right now, having a conversation. A verbal conversation is like every area of their brain lit up, or every sector, or whatever you want to call it, lit up as if they were having a conversation. Plus, their brain waves kicked in, and they went from like they were dead, clinically dead. They were almost a flatline brain wave, and then everything just skyrocketed. And then after a little while, once true death occurred, it went flatline again. I found it really interesting. It was
It's interesting and scary, all of this
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And the similarities, I mean, I know this isn't an NDE ship, but in the similarities between the experiencers, it's uncanny.
Right.
So let's see. The next one, and I could probably see this one, and I thought it's already happened. China may implement a social credit system, and there may be troubles with partnerships between the U.S. and China, leading to a digital currency uprising, increased control and restrictions, conflict in the Palestinian and Israel war, environmental abuse that leads to floods and fires, disruption in the internet, communication waves, and efforts to raise consciousness and achieve balance by 2026.
Sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
A little bit.
I've never watched that.
Oh,
It
dude,
does.
you need to.
I've
It's
heard that.
crazy.
But yeah, I thought China already had a social credit system going.
There was some discussion of it earlier in the year, at least. I don't know if they've actually implemented it yet, but I know I remember the discussion about it.
So
I don't think that's a good idea.
no, I don't either.
It's dangerous.
I mean, that kind of leads more towards, what if tomorrow? But I think a lot of people over the past several years have woken up to what's going on and the control measures that they're trying to put in place.
What was that movie? Was it Jumping Jack Flash? Where every time he would cuss, he would get a ticket?
No, that was Demolition Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was it?
Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd be like, shit, ka-ching.
Yeah.
Get a fine.
Yeah. And obviously we're watching the Palestinian-Israel war, all that. One big thing you kind of see with everything, and it's debatable to me, is the whole environmental abuse and all that. I'm not even going to get into that. But the next one, we'll just move on. Yeah, and Enzo said, like everyone else in the world, they're going to wait and see how our elections turn out.
Yeah.
Yep, I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah.
The next one is raising consciousness will bring humility, compassion, and love, new leadership in Palestine and Israel, potential civil unrest in 2025, Trump running for presidency again, uncertainty about American presidency, and a strong, untrustworthy brunette potentially running for something in 2024. Okay.
Hey, wait, who? Untrustworthy brunette?
Untrustworthy brunette potentially running for something in 2024.
Wow.
I don't know what hair color has to do with it.
Yeah, I don't either. I
Let's
mean,
just
the only
dye-
one I can.
Maybe they dyed it blonde, for artificial intelligence, or dyed it brown.
The only one I can think of right now on the Republican side is Nikki Haley. She's a brunette. So who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
See, how old is this? I'm trying to see when this was printed. Let's see. Is Trump may run for president again in 2024 and win. Uncertainty about other candidates, economic unrest, investigations against political figures, potential opposition from a woman from the South, ongoing Ukraine. I can't even talk. War. Putin needs to go. China causing upset, higher vibration, leading to better intuition. Return of Christ's energy to combat energy war between light and darkness. That's something I've been saying for a long time. I believe there is a spiritual battle going on. I absolutely 100% believe that. Whether you call it Christ energy or whoever's, I truly believe that we've been in a spiritual battle for the last several years. There's just too much evil, in my opinion, going on. The division, and it's not just here. I mean, obviously we experience the division here more, but around the world, there's huge division.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of these, I don't know. I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole because it can be pretty contentious. But I've been saying for a long time now that, like I said, it's definitely, I definitely believe it's a spiritual battle.
It's like we're rolling towards a human self-destruct, and
Something.
probably a civilization reset at some point.
Yeah.
Well, there's this theory that civilization is reset like 5 times.
Yeah, at least 5 times. Yeah.
So,
But see, that also
Wouldn't
ties
surprise
into
me.
like the Hopi prophecy.
hmm
I don't know a
We
lot
still need to
about
do a
that.
show on that.
We
have
do
to.
need to.
We do.
absolutely do it.
That would be a good one.
I think that would be a fun show because I find it fascinating. Let's see.
I know. Do you guys know who Margie Kay is? She's a lady. I think she's in Kansas City, Missouri, maybe. But she's like a remote viewer. She's an author, researcher, investigator, and she runs the UNX podcast, the news podcast. She did a prediction just this afternoon when I was sitting up at the hospital, and said, "Let me find it again." Last night about 7:30 p.m., I had a premonition shake. And this is where I experience a coming earthquake that will happen in the next few days. And it will be felt in Kansas City for sure and likely other areas. I guess we'll see what happens. It felt like it was about a level 4.5 or more. So
I wonder if that would be New Madrid.
probably. Yeah, it's right there on it. Well, is it? Or is that more St. Louis area?
That's close. That's on the Mississippi, pretty close.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but
That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
so yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out and see how she does prediction wise on that.
Yeah.
I always find
And,
the whole prophecy thing just totally fascinating.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter which angle although some of them are pretty good. I've got a new favorite one. I'll read later.
I'm about done with hers. And her last one, the psychic medium predicts a harmonious future with celestial beings urging humans to love themselves and others while discussing their upcoming book and health struggles. I don't know where that came in at, but it must have been a podcast or something. But yeah, that's all for her.
You know who that makes me think of? The Simpsons episode where who is it that ends up radioactive and he runs out going, "I bring you love," or whatever it is. You guys remember that one?
Yes, I haven't seen
I
that one.
bring you love. They're thinking they're seeing a ghost or an alien, and it's really like, oh, what's his name? Mr.
Mr. Burns?
Yeah, Mr. Burns.
The old
Is it
man?
Mr. Burns that's running around going, "I bring you love." Something like that. I can't remember the details, but I just remember that. The radioactive being.
All right, Mark, you got something to go?
All right, I got Jeff Hayward, bold but ridiculous predictions for 2024. I've never wanted to be wrong so badly. All right, there's the usual in a stunning victory, although with some questionable results in Georgia, Trump wins the U.S. presidency. Biden opts to be put in cryogenic sleep.
Isn't he already there?
And in Canada, legal red tape in Canada holding black dogs from serving in political offices finally lifted. Barky the Poodle becomes the first canine mayor of a Canadian town.
Ooh.
Now here is my favorite one.
Barky
though.
the
This guy,
Poodle?
Barky the Poodle. In a somewhat unexpected but still historical move, and this one I can see happening. Canada and the U.S. agree to a land swap. Canada goes to California and a first round NBA draft pick, while the U.S. picks up Alberta, the land of oil rich conservatives. The only reason America agrees to a swap instead of just taking Alberta by force is that the administration didn't want the expense of adding an extra star to every American flag outfit.
Jesus.
Enzo said if by cryogenic you mean embedded in ice cream, then yes, he's already there.
Anyway,
That's awesome.
Taylor Swift dumps her football boyfriend Travis Kelce after he accidentally cheats on her with a Swift lookalike. The pop country superstar releases an album about the breakup 2 years later. She was reportedly in the studio months beforehand, and the album's first single is "You Don't Go Long." Hits number 1.
You don't go long. Oh my God.
Max Brennan, the country would be a whole lot better if we had a dog running it. I can't disagree with that, man.
Oh, that brings up one of my personal predictions or hope for.
Oh,
Yes,
Swami Mark, do tell.
Swami Mark. Bigfoot will run for the U.S. presidency and win.
Ooh.
I'd vote for him.
So let's just start a write-in campaign right now. Bigfoot for president 2024.
Yep.
He'd probably have a pretty good shot.
Probably
Hey,
will.
I
You-
mean, have you seen the
didn't think
clowns
he
running
would.
this country? You might. We've still never taken a picture of our candidate, but he's
Right.
still better than Biden.
And they're all blurry when we try.
Blurry.
Goodness.
All right. Let's see.
Aliens raid fertility clinic.
Wait, what? Or aliens say, "Take me to your leader." No, wait, never mind.
Never mind.
All right.
Take me to an Aerosmith concert.
Jack Link jerky products just shot up in price.
Hells yeah.
Let's see.
Every Jack Link's product donates $1 to the
I
presidential
hope it's
fund.
Let's just say
I hope it's the saxophone playing Bigfoot.
right.
He would be cool. He gets my vote.
Saxy
Yep.
squad.
Saxy
Like,
Squad.
Alicia said he would at least be more understandable than Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not wrong.
No.
See,
Is that all you got,
better than
Mark?
any Biden speech ever. There's some more on here, but there's going to be a 6th Die Hard movie called Die the Very Hardest. The role of John McClane is now played by Keanu Reeves, who almost single-handedly frees a giant U.S. theme park from a rogue North Korean occupation. The final scene is Kim Jong-un gleefully sliding down the biggest water park ride straight into McClane's clenched fist. Sorry, spoilers. I mean, I like this guy. I think everybody should go read his stuff because he's cool.
Have fun. All right. I've got a self-proclaimed, remind you, self-proclaimed psychic dubbed the living Nostradamus. He has cast his latest round of prophecies of 2024, and it looks set to be a tornado of a year.
Aren't they always?
That next year could mark a new, well, this year, I guess, new chapter in human history, one filled with aliens, a robot rebellion, global catastrophe, but also hope. He said, beyond the space frontier, in relation to space, he states that it will be an utterly transformative year. He believes that 2024 will see humans finally make contact with aliens. However, he cautions that it wouldn't be something out of science fiction narratives such as spaceships invading Earth. Instead, he forecasts that humans and aliens will communicate through encrypted signals intercepted by a network of telescopes.
Right.
What's up, Willie? So what kind of grams are we talking about, Pam? Like 10 grams, like $10 grams, or just being grandma to cuddle newborn? Congrats, by the
No,
way.
you should tell everybody your good news.
Yeah, tell us the news.
Yes. Newest grandbaby was born this morning, and she's adorable.
Awesome.
She is.
Her name is Jessa, and I'm not proud, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. But thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's how she got grams.
Yeah. It could be worse.
It could be.
I didn't even think of that. So thanks, Willie.
Let's see. He says, our
I predict a new baby
extraterrestrial.
this year.
discovery will not stop there. He said an asteroid abundant with rich materials is hurtling for Earth and will land safely next year, which I don't understand that. He predicts
Safely.
this mass of never before seen ancient space materials will spark a new space race as different global superpowers battle to get their hands on a piece of it. China, Russia, and their pariah pals will battle the West to learn the secrets of the asteroid holds, and then things could get nasty. Nice. Did
Right.
not Willie. Willie asked if if we saw the asteroid that's actually supposed to come pretty close to the year 2029 to Earth.
I did not.
Did not see that one.
I think
Oh.
I have heard about it. It's been a while, so I don't remember all the.
Is that the asteroid that's going to come kill us when they kick the super duper hadron collider on?
Oh,
and
maybe.
create a gravity field that sucks in all the asteroids, and the moon crashes into the ocean.
Geez. That'd be about right, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would be about right.
We're going to like lose gravity and we're all going to like slide off because the Earth is flat.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when it's like toast when it lands, you know, like butters.
Like, I told you
Yeah.
so.
We'll all get smushed because when you drop toast, the butter always falls first, right? So we'll all just, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
But I want to know how this asteroid is going to land safely. That's what I want to know. So that's what it says.
Retro
Does it mean
thrusters.
that the asteroid is okay when it lands and we die, or we're okay?
Right.
It's a good point. That's a very good point.
There's
Retro
a really
thrusters.
It's
big-
okay, just none of the rest of us are.
That's why everybody wants it. Because of retro thrusters.
Alicia said she read somewhere that there's supposed to be one hit Earth on my birthday this year, October 5th.
Ooh. You know what's
We'll
scary
see.
about asteroids is half the time they're like 3 miles away when they're like,
Right.
oh shit.
Oh, yeah,
There's an
there it is.
asteroid.
Oh no!
Yeah. And Bruce Willis is too bad off for us to send him into space to blow it up for us.
Right. You know, so we're screwed.
Yeah, that poor guy's. He's
Yeah.
suffering, man. He's suffering.
Angel said that the asteroid will hit on the flat Earth's edge, and we all flip off like a seesaw.
Right.
Ew.
There's your earthquake. That's your earthquake here in a couple
Maybe
days.
There's
Now.
your
so.
earthquake. Yep.
There you
Maybe that's it. Could be.
All right, the robot rebellion. I'm looking forward to this one.
Ooh. Mark's very excited.
Mark, sign me up.
Says the fast developing power of generative AI systems has been heralded as both new era for innovation and yet possibly the end of humanity. And Salome claims that the growing fears are entirely justified. He predicts that 2024 superhuman intelligence systems will achieve self-awareness, effectively becoming conscious digital minds that are able to function without human input. The seer calls it the AI awakening and believes the robots will develop a language beyond the comprehension of its human creators, therefore cutting us out of their conversation. In his visions, the impacts will be catastrophic to the fabric of our societies, which are not at all prepared for machine-led rebellion. Equipped with self-improvement capabilities and covert communication channels, it could lead machines and us down a very perilous path.
Along those lines, one of the financial places, and I've lost this tab, was actually predicting, because everybody's been talking about AI for the last year or so. But one of the big financial deals was talking about how quantum computing is probably going to make a huge breakthrough this year. And I think actually Baba Vanga actually might have predicted that. Yes. In my Baba Vanga predictions, there is a breakthrough in quantum computing that she predicted for 2024. So
now I would say
heard they
she
were
is
on the edge of a breakthrough. So
Mhm.
yeah.
yes, I've heard several people saying that we are actually on the edge of a breakthrough. So this is one that could very well come to pass, if not this year, then in the very near future.
Yeah.
So that would make the whole AI rebellion kind of possible.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I can see it. I know Ray Kurzweil, years ago. It's been probably 10 years ago, maybe longer. I was listening to him in an interview, and he was saying they expect the singularity to come around 2030. You know,
I
to
mean,
where
that's not
AI
that far from now.
no, where AI reaches full, you know, sentience.
Sentience.
So yeah, I can definitely see it. Well, he goes on to predict World War III, obviously. You know, I mean,
Everybody always does every year.
yep. But this year, I think it's a little more feasible the way stuff's going.
It is.
Yeah, I think the Nostradamus predictions was saying a naval war with China possible.
Yeah. Yep. I saw that one. I think we probably got the same two articles pulled up.
Probably so.
You know, says any conflicts could have a profound impact leading to recessions in several major economies. Well, I mean, obviously, we're looking at that anyway.
Well, depending on how hot of a war, there's nothing better for an economic boom than a good war.
Yeah, that's it. What's he got here?
That's, you know, the way you say that, it is sad because it's true. And even when it comes to things like prosthetics, it's not a field where there's a lot of consumers in it, but when a war comes along, it rockets the number
Yeah.
of consumers.
Oh yeah,
up.
and the products get better and
They
more
put more money
technologically
into
advanced.
yeah.
Yep. There are some amazing prosthetics out there. Real quick, Willie said he can confirm he's approached to leave the job he's currently doing to go back into pipe fitting for 3 submarines they're trying to pump out per year in the East Coast right now. Yeah.
Wow.
I believe it.
Yep.
I absolutely believe it.
But on the prosthetics, there's some amazing prosthetics coming out. I mean, they almost react just like our normal hands and feet and legs all do.
There's a new one for a foot out now that one of the hardest things to do is to recreate the motion of the ankle. And the one that I have seen that is relatively new is in the very front of it. Normally, where they run on large, C-shaped legs. Like the foot that I have now, it's a small C shape, so it's only probably about this big. But they have now where they've got a hydraulic set in the front of that, like if the top of the C was here towards the toes, so you can get that rollover effect with the ankle. But you kind of have that with the C foot, but it gives a pop at the end that this wouldn't have. It would have a more of a natural rollover. I can't imagine how much those are because I know how much the one that I have is, and just it's 26,000. So I can't imagine how much one with the hydraulics in.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy. I know. I was watching this. This has been a while back. It was a doctor at MIT who lost both of his legs in a mountain climbing accident.
Yes.
And he developed these prosthetics to help him climb mountains again, and they're like amazing. I mean, they react and all that just by your muscle twitches. And those sensors inside of them. It's crazy.
See the guy that does the TED Talks?
Maybe.
I bet it is.
Yeah. Then he goes on to say natural disasters sweep across the U.S., Africa, and Middle East as these regions battle drought, fires, and floods. I mean, that's kind of the standard. Okay, next year's
doom and gloom, and you can't have a prediction thing without doom and gloom.
Right.
Where's all the positive predictions?
Right.
We bring you love. It's in The Simpsons. You have to watch The Simpsons for your prediction.
Right. There's something. We could do a whole show on all the things The Simpsons has got right.
Matt Groening's got it down. I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah, because they're spot on. A good 75% of the time. I mean,
Willie said Jess may have the most amazing, chaotic, and iconic background on all of YouTube's.
You're welcome.
It is pretty awesome.
It took her years to put that together. Literally.
I don't know if I put it together or if it just kind of fell in.
I think it may have grown organically.
One of these days, I'll like do a 360 in here, and you guys can just be like dumbstruck with
It's an
silence.
incredible
just
space.
dumb.
Really is.
Because you're like, what the hell is wrong with her? What happened to her in her youth that this has occurred? Yeah, it's
Either that or they'll go like, now I understand Jess.
I will freely admit that I was dropped on my head multiple times.
something terrible happened to me. So, and then
Hey,
you get
great
this.
artists have to have great workspaces, and you do.
That's right. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't call it great. I would call it overcrowded. Actually, you guys are getting to see it in better shape today because I took a day to clean. I'm in between two really big pieces, and I knew I couldn't get the second one in here until I did a little scrub up. You can actually kind of see like a little bit of space. Like, ooh, look at that.
I
Get my
that you
hand
throw
right
something
there.
to the side. Then here it is.
But I
It's right
do
It's there. Look at
I
that.
do have a Star Wars
Yay.
bobblehead.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he does have a bobblehead. Yeah.
Let's see, Willie. He said, "Is it a garage? Is it a creative center, or is it just sewing on license plates that also light up and talk about conspiracy?" One will never know. It's just his background.
That's right. I am an enigma.
It's all of the above and more. But wait, there's more.
Yes, but wait, there's more. For only $19.95, you too can. Oh, wait. I got a little carried away.
We should
Ron
play
Popeil.
it. One of these days we'll play a game. I'll be like, what's within Jess's like arm reach? And I'll just like and see what I snag. You'll be shocked. Like, what the hell is that
Alcohol.
doing in the house?
Gasoline.
There may be gasoline in here. I don't know. There's alcohol. Does that count? There's like paints and all sorts of stuff. There's an old tin for Miracle brand hang up container kills moths.
Ooh.
Woo.
You're gonna piss
a 10.
Mothman off. He's gonna come looking for you.
Yeah, he's never
Yeah.
gonna come back now.
He's never gonna
See,
come back.
that was my prediction. My prediction for 2024 was that Mothman and Batboy were going to have a baby.
Oh.
Mothboy.
Mothboy.
I almost did a rendering on
Wouldn't it be
Adobe,
Batgirl though?
but
Or Moth Girl? Moth
Maybe it's
Woman?
Moth Girl. I
Moth
mean,
why
Woman
would it be
and
Moth
Batboy?
Girl?
the
Mothman and
scales are kind
Batboy.
of they're kind of glittery.
How are they gonna have a baby?
Hey,
It's
this
the
is
new age. It doesn't
2024.
Oh, that's
You can do
true.
whatever you
Don't be
want.
judgy.
Cloning.
Use your pronouns.
It'll be cloning. Hey, now I can't get anybody to use my preferred pronoun, and I've tried and tried and tried. But for those of you in the audience who are listening, my preferred pronoun is His Imperial Majesty, Dark Lord of all.
Yeah, we're going to have you shorten that because I can't remember all of that.
Yeah.
Well, you can
Have
just
that
call me
Moth
him.
Dim.
Oh, that's
His,
perfect.
His Imperial Majesty. That'll be my short name. It's him, all caps.
Okay. All
Yes,
right. We
His
can do that.
Imperial Majesty.
He
Yeah,
Yeah.
must not be
funny.
named.
It's better than Swiss cheese for brains.
Well,
It
I
has a
mean,
much
but
more
that is
majestic ring
truth
to
in
it.
advertising. I've chosen to be truthful in advertising, so that's why my subtitle is Swiss cheese for brains, because I can't remember anything if I don't write it down, and I'm not smart enough to remember to write it down. That's why I need minions. Somebody needs to bring me some minions. The cute yellow ones will be fine. I mean, yeah. I
You're
could
funny.
play the evil genius. Well,
I've got
no,
3 of them now.
not really
One
genius,
of them
but
can't do much yet, but
there you go. There you go.
she's cute.
You guys should do like the astrologyweekly.com. Do you guys ever go to that thing?
No.
It's got the really funny horoscopes every week. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go see if I can find
That
it.
could be a new weekly stop for us.
Yeah. Willie says, "Hey, on a real note, I'm really thinking how did they make Swiss cheese with all the holes in there? I'm like really over here thinking about it. Do they make it in a block and then cut the holes?
France
I
has
actually-
a lot of mice.
I actually
Or do
know
they-
the answer to that one. It's called
they-
Or Switzerland has lots of mice. So they
carbonation,
through-
sir. It's carbonation. As the bubbles rise up and it creates the holes in the cheese. And then it solidifies, leaving the...
Bacteria fart.
It is exactly bacteria farts. You're correct.
Okay,
That's how that
I
happens.
got there.
Same
All right,
thing
who
here.
wants their horoscope read?
You
Do
can
mine.
volunteer.
We all do.
Oh, well,
do it.
I'll do Phillips first. What are you?
All right, Cancer.
Okay, I'm going.
Is that why you're so crabby at work? No, just kidding.
Probably.
Mhm.
Okay, these
Just
are kind of
kidding.
long, so I'm not going to do the whole thing, but you'll kind of get an idea. Like, if you detest horoscopes or you kind of like them, but you'd rather have a laugh every day, go to astrologyweekly.com because they're fantastic. You like to know what's going on in the lives of everyone in the galaxy. However, you tend not to know what's going on in your own. If you're lucky, your friends will tell you. Cancerians only get dressed because they have to, and their fashion sense can only be described as erratic. You are more likely than any other sign in the zodiac, except Pisces, who doesn't iron, to iron your clothes by sleeping with them sandwiched between the mattress and the box spring. Likewise, you can stretch one pair of underwear out for almost a month.
Oh, yikes.
Your home is like your very own biodome, and you can remain indoors for months at a time. Despite your need to be everyone's savior, you need no social interaction. SWAT teams often show up, mistakenly thinking there's a hostage situation. A cancer is like a walking ladies' home journal, quick on the draw with shortcake recipes and helpful hints on how to talk to your teen. Whether they know it or not, they're all born with an exceptional talent for cross-stitch.
Ooh.
So much for buying the world a Coke. They would breastfeed the world if they could. I just say, like,
Yikes.
it's still going here. So,
Oh my god.
yeah. Mark, what are you?
Well, I am a Virgo. Most of them.
Oh, you had to think about it.
Well, I'm born on the day that it changes.
Ooh, you're
That's
on
where
the
I'm at
cusp.
too.
I'm the cusp.
Okay,
I'm a
Virgo.
cusper.
You're a pain in the ass.
Yes, they get me.
You regulate your breathing and color coordinate the clothes in your closet. No Virgo in history has ever belched. That's not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
They're wrong. This one is wrong. That's the first
Yes.
one right, but the rest of it's wrong.
Obsessive compulsive disorder? A
Nope.
nice euphemism for the word Virgo. Oh my gosh. Okay, Pam, what are you?
Aries.
Aries. Do. Back up to the top. Aries have ram-like eyebrows and smug expressions. They should not be quite so smug because they are constantly clunking themselves in the skull. Cat Stevens,
yeah.
hard-headed woman, was probably an Aries. Aries rarely say one thing and do another. They usually do the wrong thing and don't discuss it. Never
my
point
gosh,
this
this-
out to an Aries unless you want your kidneys pulled out through your sinuses. And
Fair.
it continues. Yeah, so astrologyweekly.com.
All
That
right.
is awesome.
Stuff. It's good stuff.
Willie said he's about to say lies. As a Virgo, sneezing and belching are like mini earthquakes and tsunamis.
Agreed, sir. Agreed. Or chemical warfare.
Oh, mine sucks.
Do
I'm a
yours.
Capricorn. Capricorns are hardworking, reliable, and dull as hell.
Oh, that is wrong. You're one of the most
You're
fun
al-
people I know.
They are always on the move, headed to their next delusion of grandeur.
Oh no, that's wrong.
And this one's completely wrong. They're often good at math, which explains why they're such pains in the ass. I suck at math, so
So you're the exception that proves the rule.
Stephen Hawking is even more Capricorn because he's all of the above and a pompous SOB to boot.
You know, that's
Yeah.
probably not wrong.
Sure, he's overcome a lot of obstacles, etc., but even in perfect health, you can't overcome being a Capricorn. Most politicians are Capricorns, which is why our country is always in the hole.
Sylvian also, he said he's a Capricorn too.
Yeah.
Oh, do you math?
Because none of us math.
He said,
None of us
"Welcome,
math."
sister."
Welcome to the club. We have goat t-shirts. Oh my goodness.
Do you
Yeah.
stare at
Astrologyweekly.com. It's good for a hoot.
I love that.
There's another one. I don't think they do it anymore. They did it for a few years. It was a horoscope that like completely insulted you. Like it was the worst. You're a piece of crap. Hope you have a crappy day. It was fantastic.
There's
So
something to make it
uplifting,
worse.
huh?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
I
You got
don't know
anything
who
else,
writes
Mark?
those, but they're good. Well, I mean, we can go over some of Baba Vanga's stuff.
Yeah. I think she's probably been one of the most accurate, even though she's, missed the mark some.
Yeah, I mean, she's usually within a couple of years.
Yeah.
This is from Sky History in the UK. Orbital alteration. Solar flares aren't the only astronomical phenomenon on Baba Vanga's psychic radar. She's also said to have predicted an even more incredible event, an alteration in the very orbit of the Earth. The orbits of bodies in the solar system are determined by gravitational forces and are always prone to change. However, such alterations typically take place in a gradual way over long time periods. So anything more radical would have dramatic outcomes for us all. Think climate disruption, spiking radiation levels, and all around chaos. Well, I mean, just look at me. We've already got, all around chaos. Bioweapon deployment. One of the most viscerally disturbing predictions attributed to Baba Vanga involves a big country carrying out biological weapons and tests and attacks. That doesn't sound like much fun. She did talk about a breakthrough in quantum computing. We've talked about that earlier. And the advent of designer humans will be coming out in 2024. A much discussed Baba Vanga prophecy involves human beings that are grown and born in vats. Or did she mean that humans could be tweaked on a genetic level and thus be designed to their parents' specifications? Whatever the precise truth of what the mystic envisioned, this is certainly dystopian stuff, which is difficult to imagine happening as early as next year. That said, it's certainly possible that we'll start seeing advances in the fields of genetic testing, IVF, and childbirth with potential ramifications on how humans approach childbirth. We may not be about to enter the reality dreamt up by Aldous Huxley in Brave New World, which is, by the way, an awesome book. Please read it. Where humans are grown in vats, but we will be well on the cusp. We may well be on the cusp of incredible changes. So that's actually kind of scary.
That's actually been in the news for the last couple of years. Talking about designer humans, and Sarah said she hated that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Weird.
Amazing medical breakthrough. I can't speak tonight. I don't know why.
I like break flutes.
break flutes. That'll work. That'll work. And ending on a somewhat more optimistic note, basically Baba Vanga's prediction of humanity shackling cancer with iron chains. In other words, finally curing people of this scourge. Could 2024 be the year that this happens? Baba Vanga says yes.
Ooh,
So
it's very
I,
mystical.
I could get very behind that one.
Yeah. I've got some
then-
more that I've seen from her. I guess I have a different article pulled up, but talks about an assassination attempt on Vladimir Putin.
He's already dead.
Some people think.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these aren't a very far reach, honestly. Terrorist attacks on Europe. Granted, she's been dead for a couple decades now, but major economic crisis. I mean, anybody could probably write that. Your tech revolution, a surge in cyber attacks, medical breakthroughs. That's what you were just talking about. You're on Sky History.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the link. That's the that's attributed to that article. So yeah.
It's like Nostradamus. Like every year he predicts a World War III.
Right.
The Pope's gonna die and we're gonna get a new one.
I mean, that
And
happens all the
then-
time.
That's funny that you say that. I've got it pulled up right now.
Like
And
I wrote down some of his quatrains for this year's predictions, and one of them is just complete hokum. It says, the dry earth will grow more parched, and there will be great floods.
Say
That's
what?
what I'm gonna go with. Yeah, and I was okay. Way to keep
We're
it
gonna have-
general there.
Floods of parching.
Yeah. Although I did you see where
Don't
they're
say that
thinking
fast.
that he predicted that they're gonna take King Charles out of power,
yep.
but they don't think that it's William that's gonna take over. They think it's Harry.
Yeah. That's what this says here.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
if they take
it's
Charles out, they'll have to take out William and then all William's kids to get to
well,
Harry.
they're saying like the way that it was written, it sounds like William refuses the throne so that it goes to Harry. It said he'll be replaced by one who will have no mark of a king. I don't know.
They
Yeah.
do say Harry's really not Charles's kid, so
I mean, I have heard that rumor, yes. Thank God none of them look like Charles.
I don't know. William's on the fast track though.
Well, he's kind of getting there.
He is.
He was too
And-
cute when he was young. That's what happened. He outgrew his cuteness.
My wife
did.
asked me how many shots I had. For the record, it was 2.
All of them.
All of them? Well, I mean,
There's another.
if I had more, I'd probably be able to speak better.
There's another one I have. I'm trying to find out who it's from. Becca Monaghan, something like that. Let's see. It's actually the article is written by her, Sharon Hamoudi, a psychic who has grown to have a loyal fan base online, is constantly booked up with hundreds of queries across the world. I've never heard of her. We'll go down here. Government changes next year regarding Rishi Sunak. I say a massive change. I feel that will be must be England. Global warming will 100% get worse, and that's like the standard. Parents will have more power with education. She says she feels a big shakeup in education. She feels there's somebody already speaking about this, and it's not changed in 50 years. Watch this space with this one. She also feels around schools and education that there will be new schools built, a new view regarding the schools. I feel the parents will have a lot more involvement as well, which I can see that kind of turning here. parents are really getting more engaged about their children's education, which is great.
Yeah, it absolutely needs to happen.
You know,
You
but
screw up the
Mhm.
educational system enough, yeah, everybody's going to want to
yeah,
Well, yeah, I
get a
mean,
handle on it.
the Department of Education has been one of the worst things for education that's ever happened.
Hmm.
It's a travesty.
yeah. Jess, to what you were saying earlier about the dry earth will grow more parched and there will be great floods when this scenes, they're already saying it came true. Says now people
Okay.
returning to his writings after the earthquake was hitting, which hit Japan on New Year's Day,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't see how that. Tens of thousands of people were evacuated from their homes across the country, and the death toll currently stands at 48 after a powerful earthquake triggered tsunami warnings. So
Mm-hmm.
Did a tsunami actually hit, though?
I don't know.
I don't think it.
I
Well,
don't think it did. I think it was just a big
Yeah.
earthquake.
I think
Yeah.
it was too.
Mhm.
I have a friend that's husband's in the military, and they just moved to Okinawa just a month ago, like literally a month ago, and that hit, and we were all like, "Oh God!" But she said they were far enough south it didn't affect them. But yeah, they had all warnings, big time, everywhere.
Yeah, they didn't want another Fukushima.
No, for sure.
No, that was a bad deal. And once again, that's a good reason to get rid of traditional nuclear reactors and go with liquid salt.
Yeah.
There would not have been a disaster.
Enzo commented, worst global warming. Said it's been getting worse for the last 10,000 years.
That's
Yes,
true.
sir. And he said it is
Yes.
true. It's in Caney. He said at least you're getting rain right now.
No
Yes.
kidding. We have water actually going over our dam now.
Over the
I saw
dam.
that. That's
We're
awesome.
thrilled.
Which
They've
I think
reopened
it.
the
Yeah.
car wash.
Yeah, car wash on the weekends. Yep.
Now, if we can just get them to get rid of the stupid reserve the water, I can't get anybody to understand that if there's water flowing over the dam, that means it's full.
Mm.
We're fine. And it's good that the water's flowing over because Copan needs some too.
Yeah.
So let's do this.
Yeah.
Crazy people.
There's-
The water that goes over the dam is useless to us. So
Mhm.
why wouldn't we just be on regular? And that's beyond the point. That's beyond the point of this show. Just stupid people. Stupid people.
Well, humans in general are not that bright.
Yeah. It's
Case
very
in
true.
point.
What are you saying? Oh,
Swiss cheese for brains.
I thought we were all pointing. Did you like look into like the astrology like overview of the next year?
I did not. Did you?
I did. I can't comprehend most of it because it's all that Saturn's going into retrograde and blah 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 blah. However, there was really one really interesting one I saw on there that was kind of across the board, and I kind of saved it here. It said USA's Pluto return. A notable highlight is the Pluto return in the US, marking the astrological visit visit to the same position it was in at the exact founding of the nation. The transit signals the end of a cycle and the beginning of a profound revolution in US politics and society.
I.e., Bigfoot runs for office.
I'm all about it. But I want it
Yep,
to
I'm
be
on
the
board with
sax
it.
playing. The sax playing one. Yeah.
And we could have a chupacabra for vice president.
There you go.
I say dog man.
Dogman? Okay.
I say dog man.
Chupacabra could
Dogman.
be the first dog,
The chupacabra is Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican.
Well, I
Yeah.
say we just wipe out. We wipe
could
out
run
all
for
the
congressman.
politicians. Yeah, we wipe out all the politicians and just bring in cryptids.
Start
I
over.
want
good.
some I want some Fresno night crawlers in Congress. I want some walking pants
Can you see him
and some congressional seats.
Mothman for Senate.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
the giant octopus can live out in the reflecting pool.
Oh, there
That'd be
you go.
great.
In the
Yeah.
Potomac. Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
And we could throw the old politicians in.
Ooh.
Yeah, he'll have food forever.
Just because those guys are fat.
I was going to say he'll have
I mean, I
indigestion.
can't really say anything about that because I'm fatter than they are, but still.
Have a good one, Enzo. Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Doof doof.
See you later,
Trainer.
Enzo.
Bye.
All right, man. That's kind of
I
burned
don't
up all
know.
mine.
Yeah,
You got
I'm
any
pretty
more,
much
Mark?
done with them. I don't have any good ones.
That's it.
No, this
There
was
wasn't a ton to go on.
There wasn't a
It's
ton.
all the same
Yeah.
year after year. Are you
It
guys
is.
excited for the congressional hearings next week? Or actually at the end of the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Oh, Friday.
Is this to go over debunking everything that went through the last congressional hearings about UFOs?
No. So they're having the full another UFO briefing to the House Oversight Committee.
Mhm.
And this one is going to be on like 3 particular things. They're like, you are going to tell us about all the reverse engineering programs. You are going to tell us about the crashed UFO retrievals, and you are going to tell us exactly what and how much money was spent on all of the programs that the public was not told about.
Ooh.
So that's what's supposed to happen.
That sounds like a good one.
It would be a good one, but again, I don't know
They're
that
just
we're
going
going
to
to
blow smoke up everybody's butt.
Probably not, but the fact that it's out there in the zeitgeist is enough for me, regardless of its intent, the intentions behind it, or what we get to hear. At least it's out and about. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's commonly talked about now. It's not. It's kind of like this whole space that we're in. You know, the paranormal. It's out there now. It's accepted.
People are
taking it's a great
it
thing.
serious.
Yeah, we're not quite so weird anymore.
Right.
Well, I mean, speak for yourself, young lady.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
I'm still pretty weird.
On that note,
Yes,
talking
you
about
are.
UFOs, Ben and Joe are back.
I saw
that is awesome.
Yay.
So you guys keep an eye out on them. I don't think they're going to be every week. They're going to be kind of when they have a chance. I think Ben is in England right now, as a matter of fact. But yeah, Ben and Joe are back. I need to get a hold of them and have them come on, hang out with us for a little while once they get time.
Yeah. Speaking of, if you guys know anybody that you'd like to bring on to our show at the end of the month, you are free to invite anybody you want.
Okay.
Yay.
Sounds awesome.
The more the merrier.
I am looking forward to it. I think you
absolutely.
girls are going to go over like gangbusters.
Yep. You want to let everybody know the date and all that when you're kicking off?
Sure, absolutely. January 31st, the last Wednesday of the month, is our housewarming party kind of thing. Pod warming party. Is that a better way to put it?
Doesn't sound good. I like that.
Our launch party for Bordertown Strange.
Oh yeah, we should mention that, huh?
Yeah, for Bordertown Strange. So there's a Facebook page up. You can go before I knock my table over. I think, do we have our YouTube channel up?
It's up, but I haven't done anything with it yet.
Okay. And I think an Instagram page, right? Did we do the Instagram page?
Yeah.
Those are all up.
We haven't done anything with it yet.
Yeah.
So Facebook page today.
I don't ever take pictures, so I don't even need it.
Yeah. Wednesday the 31st at 7 p.m. we'll be live on Facebook and YouTube. With our little our launch party. We're gonna have everybody bring their favorite drink and their best strange story. And it's a competition, you two. You better bring something great. Because we're gonna judge you.
Bring
we're
the
gonna
good
be like,
stuff.
who brings the best strange story? There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yay.
And it's going to be a podcast, kind of like what we do here on The Fringe. We're going to do deep dives on anything and everything weird, Fortean,
What's up, Sonny?
paranormal. We're going to do like missing times and time storms and UFOs and ghosts and true crime and like unsolved mysteries kind of stuff. So it should be a blast.
I'm looking
And
forward to it.
we're going to try to have on a lot of guests and speakers and authors and historians. And I believe we're going to be live. Is it every 2 weeks that we do it?
Every 2 weeks live, yeah. And then in between, we're going to work on interviews and things like that we can post to.
Yeah.
So for sure, every 2 weeks live.
Yeah. So every other Wednesday. Woohoo!
Awesome.
And we're going to make Mark and Phil come on all the time.
Oh, you know it. All you
Let
got to
us
do
know.
is ask.
Doing a heartbeat.
Yay. It'll be a
Yep.
good time.
You know, and like we said earlier, I mean, before we've told you probably 100 times by now. I mean, if you guys need help with anything, advice, whatever, you know, just
I'm
reach
sure
out.
we'll be hitting you up. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the first few are going to be fantastic.
If you went back and listened to our first couple episodes, at least you guys have practice.
Yeah, you guys have practice.
That's
We
true.
suck.
Oh,
we
I-
were bad.
Not that long ago, it's been a little while, but not that long ago, I went back and listened to the very first one that I did with you guys.
Okay.
It was my first one ever. It was terrible. I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
Deer in headlights kind of thing. That's how I was.
Hey, at least then it was just audio.
Yeah. Well, like Phil introduced me, and I was like, you hear like this long pause, and then I'm like, hi. And that's all you got. I was like, was smooth, Jess.
Sounds a little bit like Raven.
Awesome.
So yeah, I mean, you guys got
Yeah.
lots of practice, you know, I mean, with the muck and you guessed on multiple different shows. I mean, so you've kind of gotten the initial
You've been trained.
jitters,
I'm not
you know.
nervous about doing the interviews or bringing the actual information.
It's the technical
I'm
side.
afraid
Yeah.
technical. I'm afraid like we're gonna screw up and it won't be live, it'll only be partially live and the screen's gonna be all crooked. And, like, I don't know.
Thank goodness StreamYard we will be streaming through StreamYard. That will take care of most of that for us. So.
StreamYard is incredibly easy. Even idiots like me can run it.
Just make sure, like for YouTube, make sure at least 24 hours in advance that you have the link. You put the link into StreamYard. I mean, you could probably do it now since you already have your channel. That way you're ready to go live. Like I dropped the ball seriously for On the Fringe. And I was like, oh crap, I got to do it. And then last night I did it. And so like 6 o'clock tonight, I was able to add the link to StreamYard. So,
yikes.
So we're live on,
I didn't know that.
On the Fringe now.
Thank you.
So anything you're going to, any link you're going to add, you want to have it set 24 hours prior.
Awesome. Okay.
So,
Good to know. Good to know.
I will work on that this week.
So
there you go.
But no, I just thought we'd have a fun show for the first part of the year. I don't know. We'll share some ideas and throw some stuff back and forth for the next show. Have no idea what we're doing. That hasn't changed in 3 years. Almost 4 years. You know. So.
Well, I mean,
that's how I go day to day.
I have never been that organized. So if I know 2 days in advance, that's being really.
I know it. What was it? What did you text me? It was like one day this weekend, wasn't it?
Saturday.
Saturday. Hey, what are we doing Monday? Let's do predictions. Well, especially because, like I said last week, I checked out of everything. You know,
we should find out if Christy's available.
Oh,
Yes.
she would.
I
We
want
should have had her on for the night show because I would like to hear her predictions.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, we could do a continuance.
Yeah,
because that's what she's doing right now. If you go to her Facebook page, she's starting to put out everybody's horoscopes for the year and predictions and things like that. So maybe we should get a hold of her and have her on for the next one.
I think Mark and I talked about actually getting her on here. It's been in December, but a lot of stuff happened in December with us at work, and it got pushed to the wayside. But yeah, I'd love to have her on.
Yeah,
She's an awesome,
We should do
awesome
that.
person to talk to.
She
I
is.
mean,
she is probably one of the sweetest people I have
Yep.
ever met.
She is. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely is.
Top 3, easy. So
No, if you want,
Yeah.
I'll get a hold of her and see if she's
Yeah.
interested.
yeah,
Yeah,
go
that'd be
ahead.
awesome. Yeah, let's
Okay.
get
We
her
would
on.
love to have her on.
We've got another guy we're
Awesome.
working with. We're back and forth email. I've got to get that book read, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
He talks Mandela Effect. He's
Ooh.
also written a book because he's kind of the same mind that we are, kind of more on what if tomorrow. We kind of go down that conspiracy route a lot. The conspiracy theories and all that, but it cost him his marriage, and he's
Oh,
written a
wow.
book on that, and he's kind of wrote the book to help people kind of get through that. So I got to sit down and actually read it before we have him on. So I need to really focus on doing that in the next couple of weeks. So because I told him I'd reach out to him at the end of at the first part of the year. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe we can have him on 2 separate shows. Talk Mandela Effect on this show and the conspiracy minded theory stuff.
I am always up for Mandela Effect.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
I've been seeing more and more of them.
Oh, absolutely.
It has picked up exponentially.
That's what I was going to say. It seems like it's speeding up.
Yeah, every day you either hear about it or something triggers it.
Or experience it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
because
this weekend. I mean, right?
yeah, we started. Me and my wife and kids. We've started the whole read the Bible in a year.
Mm.
On the first actually, and like the first or second night, I started catching little differences than what I understood and knew. I mean, I'm not a huge Bible scholar by any stretch of the imagination, but little hints or little words are changed. And I'm like, is that right? But the Bible's full of them. Instead of the lion and the lamb, it's the wolves and the lamb, and I don't know. It's crazy.
Some of those are translation related.
Yes, but I mean, it's really consistent through the King James version.
Yes,
It changes a ton. Bibles that have been in families for years have changed, and that's what's crazy about it. But I don't know if you guys can hear it. My dogs are howling outside.
Maybe I need to go through my book collection and see if any of the storylines have changed.
Yeah.
Be
Well,
interesting.
I don't know. So, like, we were talking about Hellier earlier,
Mhm.
and I've been chit chatting with Pam. I started rewatching Hellier. Oh, it's been about 2 weeks ago. Just kind of throwing another episode on once in a while. I've been working on my art stuff, and it's easy just to put it in and rewatch it while I'm working. And I have a Mandela with Hellier now. I haven't really told Pam or Mark about this yet, but there's a particular object that pops up in one of the Helliers that's very popular. And I rewatched it, and the object has changed for me. It's not what it was when I first watched it.
Oh wow.
And for any of you who know Hellier, it was the balloon that
Okay.
he found up on top of Brown Mountain. It's not the same balloon it was when I first watched it.
It's not the blue
balloon
star.
is completely no.
Oh wow.
Really?
It's
strange.
a silver colored happy birthday balloon.
I thought it was a
remember
blue
it being
star.
a star.
Yeah, it's a blue star.
Huh.
It's not now.
At least we
That's
stayed in the
crazy.
same universe.
Huh.
See,
Yikes.
something. I mean, something's kind of got me thinking. Media wise, okay, and that's what I'll say according to this. Media wise, see, this is kind of going to go down the conspiracy path, but with the whole Great Reset, you'll own nothing and you'll like it. All that, we're being conditioned to be renters, and with everything. And that's the premise behind it. It's like if you need a blender or whatever, you put an order out, they bring you one, you're in it. When you're done, you wash it up and you send it back. But we're being conditioned by like Amazon, streaming services, things like that, like Amazon. You know, you can buy movies on Amazon. They're not really yours. You don't have a
Mhm.
physical copy. And if they deem something inappropriate, racist, or unsensitive, or whatever you want to call it, they can go in that media and change it, you know, with technology the way it is.
And then the
Yeah.
movie you remember is gone because
Right.
they've changed it.
But they kind of do that now with books on Kindle. If they take a book and they re-edit it, you
Mhm.
get the edited version,
Right.
you know, to download to cover up what you have.
I don't know, just food for thought. I'm not saying that's the case. And in a lot of instances, I don't believe that being the case, but
Did you know
It's
now
possible.
that some of the TV episodes that you may have purchased on Amazon or different places, if the company that you purchased it from is bought out or is taken in by another company, those can be taken out of your catalog
I don't
and you
doubt it.
don't own them anymore.
Yeah, I don't doubt it a bit.
Yeah, that is really happening now.
That's the
That
whole
sounds a bit crooked.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It
absolutely it
is.
is.
If it's not written into the contract with the new company that's purchasing, buying them out, they can take it right out of there.
I
And
don't
you
doubt
can't do
it.
anything about it.
Yep, because your contract was with another entity.
Yes, exactly.
But I think, I don't know, there may be some legal standing there too. I mean, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but you know, I mean, we forked out our $15-$20 for this movie, but you're going to try to make me buy it again, you know? I mean,
Yeah,
come
to an
on.
entity that no longer exists.
Right.
So,
That
yeah.
was my beef when they started taking all the regular programming off the channels and moving it onto the subscription ones.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I was like, I already paid to
Yeah.
have this to view,
Mhm.
and you're taking it away from me and saying if I want to see it, I'm gonna have to pay for it again over here.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, it's all about the dollar.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
It's okay. They learned their lesson because the subscription thing isn't really working, and now they're throwing all the programming back onto regular TV again, which I
Just-
think is hilarious. I was so mad because I lost my Kindred Spirits. I couldn't watch Kindred Spirits anymore because they moved it over to the
Discovery.
subscription Discovery, and I went on strike. I was like, I'm not subscribing to anything. Stick it.
And now
And
Discovery's been bought out and Kindred
Yep.
Spirits is dead in the water.
Yeah, it's
Well-
all Max now.
Yeah.
but everything everything that was on the subscription channels that whole time, they threw right back onto regular TV, and I just caught right back up again. So
Well,
Awesome.
they're still
That's what you get.
waiting to find out. They were supposed to have another season and they haven't even
Mhm.
started shooting yet.
yeah.
Yep.
But I think that like the paranormal programming is starting to leave again. It's
is.
starting to lose its popularity, and I
When-
think it's more or less because it's starting to become so mainstream now. It's not something special anymore.
The
It's not like,
Newkirks, a couple
oh,
of years ago,
Because anybody
feel
can
like
buy
the
the
second-
equipment and go out and do it.
The second they start bringing in the celebrities to ghost hunt, that's when you know your foot's out the door, is because when they
Mhm.
bring them in on anything, their last ditch effort to breathe some
Yeah.
life into whatever topic.
They're trying to hold on to it.
Yep.
I was done when they
Please
started
every
bringing Jack
dime.
Osborne on to do.
Well, now there's like Kristen Stewart, she's got a ghost hunting show with a ghost hunting team and things like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. See,
I was unaware of that one.
Yeah.
Eh.
I can't remember what it's called.
Rob Lowe did one with his sons.
yep, he did.
That
And
was
Yeah,
actually a
he
pretty
did,
good
didn't
one.
he?
Yeah.
Their road trip across America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I watched the one where he was down by Broken Bow.
Living for the Dead. That's the name of Kristen Stewart's show.
See, and that's another disconnect, it seems like, is people are tired of these celebrities being in your face all the time. And they're like, no, I'm not doing it. Just like my wife and I were talking here a couple weeks ago. We're like, they're talking about the new movies and all that. It's like, and I said, there's really no new movies that I want to go see.
No, they keep just making remakes of
Yeah.
everything.
No, and they are
Sucks.
screwing them up.
Yeah, they are. And they're remaking things that shouldn't be remade.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's been going on for a while. I mean, you go back to like Footloose, they redid that. That sucked so bad.
Yeah.
You know, they should have left that one alone.
Disney is bombing right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, they should write a
They have
book on
lost
how to go
so
out of
much
business.
money.
Yep.
Holy cow. Wow.
Did you see the I forget what it's called, where they put out a deal for their investors that the federal government requires them to, and they just flat out said, yeah, we're losing money because we're choosing social issues over,
Content.
making things that people like.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to continue to lose.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's
There's
time
there's
for the investors to take over and say, no, we're
Yeah,
here to
there-
make money, and you're going to make money. You're going to make things that the American people like and that the rest of the world likes. And we're not here to make social comments.
Right.
You know what we're running into through the library? One of the meetings that we had not too long ago, they were talking about the fact that older movies are no longer coming out on DVD. They're only bringing out the newer ones. And so, one of the services that libraries offer is DVDs to rent for free. So we have a pretty good catalog of older stuff. And when it, gets broken or disappears or whatever, we're getting to the point where it's some stuff's starting to be irreplaceable because we can't get new copies of it.
Right.
Because they want you to buy it digitally, or they want to make it disappear because
And if
they
you
don't-
purchase it digitally, there's no guarantee that you'll have it in the next 5 years if they decide
Right.
to sell out to somebody else and,
right?
take that away.
That's pretty
And that
sad.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go a lot of different ways on it, and I'm not going to.
Yeah. Well, that isn't even a conspiracy.
Well,
That's stuff
yeah.
that's actually happening right now.
Ultimately, and I've been saying this for years, when they started bringing out the ebooks and the books on Kindle and stuff, I was like, this is the beginning of the end of our history.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because one day something's going to go awry and we're going to lose everything.
All
Or
the
it can be
digital-
rewritten.
Up
Easily
until the point
written.
when all of that kind of faded out, no one's going to know about us after that because it will be
Right.
gone.
Yeah. Or
There's
I
gonna
don't
be
think
no-
you're wrong.
one
there's
big
no
edited download,
Yeah.
and stuff could be completely rewritten.
There's
Well, and
gonna
that's
be
why
no
we say
written
hard
history.
copy is, I mean,
Mhm.
get your important books on hard copy.
I was just thinking,
Yeah.
That's what I do.
we're talking history now. I was just thinking, what if some of these artifacts that have been found are something like a USB drive, but we don't know how to access it
Yeah. And that's kind of what the
from a
crystal
previous
skulls have
civilization?
been talked about.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
that theory about the crystal skulls,
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
about
that's
them being
exactly
some
what
kind
they
of
are.
USB drive. Yeah.
Mhm. That we just don't know how to access. We know they're there. We know they have info in them, but we don't know how to access it. And crystal is the perfect thing to write data onto.
I mean, that's what we're doing right now. We're
Mm-hmm.
writing data to crystal right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were talking about
Just-
quantum computing earlier, and that's kind of where you parallel things together to write, to solve equations quicker, to do complex math that can't be done right now,
Right.
that we know is there. We just can't do it.
Right.
But once we get that here, we'll be able to.
And we're not that far,
No, we're not.
which is either going to be a good thing or a bad thing. I can't tell you which.
It's like AI. I mean, there's some really good things that could come from it, and there's some really, really bad things that are most likely going to come from it. You put questions and give all the information that we have and input it into AI, and maybe it'll help find a cure for Parkinson's or, things like that. But at the same time, it's not going to take anything for it to be used nefariously.
Well,
Right.
I read an article where the AI creators are scared that they're not going to be able to create more AIs because they have been using stuff like Facebook and social media to write the algorithms, but now AI is doing so much on the social media that they've contaminated their own learning pool. So
So they're going to be able to do is watch cat videos and
well, the article said
dumbing
something
it down.
about companies are going to start looking for vegan free range information from actual people.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah.
Telling you, I was forced into it, but vegan's working out.
Well, good.
Well, I am glad that it is
I
working.
know everybody's like, good for you.
Yay! I'm
Well,
a
I
fan
mean,
of meat.
that situation, I mean, God
It
bless you.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well make the best of it.
Yep.
Yep. Well, guys, I don't have a lot more tonight. I don't know if you guys do or anything like that.
I do not. I think it's been kind of a fun / productive
That was a fun
discussion.
one.
Yeah. I'm good. I think 2024 is going to be an awesome year. We're going to have a whole bunch of great shows
Yep.
Yeah.
on both of our channels, and we got lots of stuff coming up. So I think it's going to be great, and hopefully CERN doesn't take us all out.
Right.
Well, you know,
Fingers crossed.
as my
Or
final,
they're doing it constantly, and we'll never know that they actually.
we'll
did
never
it.
know the
There you
difference.
go.
My big takeaway from this show and from other shows is, even though the production value is lower, I am finding little startup shows like this around the country by small groups or individuals to be much more entertaining and informative than, the big media. So
Yeah. 100%.
I think we're going to see more of this around the country. Small groups of people with small groups of listenership that grow. And I think that big media is probably going to destroy itself.
It needs to be
I think it
taken
already
back a
started
notch anyway.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It already has, yes.
I think
they're gonna-
the strikes and all of that has started a cascade effect that is rolling it right now.
Yeah.
And I dumped Netflix this week too because I am sick of their shit. So
I don't blame you. I mean, it's a cottage industry that is really starting to grow. And I think it's a good thing for humanity in general.
Yeah. I think
agree.
with the advent of like TikTok and now YouTube, or YouTube, to some extent now, because they're cracking down on content, people can do whatever they want. I mean, there's musicians, I can't even talk. Musicians, like, yeah,
Did you
whatever,
have
you know
some
what I
of
mean?
my shots?
I wish I did. Maybe it helped. But there's so many people out there playing music or reading, poetry or whatever, that have a huge following.
Yeah, and
just
some of
off
this
of these
music
small
I'm
platforms.
hearing on YouTube and stuff, some of these people are way more talented than the big names I've heard. Way more talent.
Absolutely. And
So,
my kid, he grew up not watching TV. He grew up watching YouTube. And, that's all that's where he gets his news from. That's where, and granted, the big three are on YouTube as well in clips and things, but that has always been his go-to. Hey mom, have you gone to YouTube and looked at this yet? Or, whatever. Because that's what he knows. And he's not alone. He's not alone in that age.
And it's freedom to create for the most part. I mean, they're trying to curtail some of it, but I think ultimately they will fail because people just don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
And YouTube, you got to keep in mind with YouTube, it's the second largest search engine in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you go, hey, I don't know how to do this. Hey, go to YouTube.
Oh, constantly. Yeah.
How to do this.
It replaced all the how-to books in my house.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I looked up how to hook up my daughter's dryer cord this last weekend because I couldn't remember. So I looked it up on YouTube.
I just looked up the other day how to change the battery in my key fob because I had no clue. I do now. I can do it.
Right.
Right?
And I was smart enough to wear gloves, so I didn't touch it.
When I worked at
I
the
would not have known to do that.
when I worked at the school, I fixed lots of things at the school with a YouTube video on my phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, all right, guys. I think probably ought to wrap it up. I need to go eat dinner, and
Yes, my bed is calling my name, sir.
yeah,
It's only 8:40.
It's pretty
You're
early for
hungry?
us, but you know,
Mark's going to turn into a pumpkin if he
I
gets
am going to
much
turn it.
longer.
Well, I kind of, if I wore orange clothing, I would look like a pumpkin. I mean, I'll just
I have my red Grammy
paint
sweater
my
on.
head and I'll be a jack o'
Pumpkin ass.
lantern.
Right? A Mark o' Lantern,
You need an
Marco
orange
lantern.
beanie with a little green stem on
right?
it.
Don't say that. My daughter will buy me one. She will
Hey,
think
Everybody-
it's
Sarah.
absolutely hilarious.
I bet she's around somewhere.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, I'm sure she's watching. I'm not sure. YouTube University is magical.
Yep.
No
I mean,
kidding.
it
Definitely
is. It really is.
And you can find some of the best
It
80s
is.
stuff on there. Like my granddaughter, she loves Muppet Babies. And
Yeah.
so I've introduced her to the Muppets too. And a Muppet Christmas, is it Muppet Family Christmas? Yeah, Muppet Family Christmas. I haven't seen that since the 80s. It's on YouTube
Yeah.
in its entirety, and she loved
Mhm.
it.
Oh yeah. Sylvan,
Yeah,
thanks for
I
hanging
watch a
out
lot
with
of
us,
old
man.
movies.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, all right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us in the live chat. And again, keep in mind that at the end of the month, probably starting our first show in February, we're strictly going to be on the Fringe on YouTube. Plus, obviously the Facebook group. But we're kind of in a transition period right now. Keep an eye out for Jess and Pam and Bordertown Strange. Definitely go support them, help them out.
Yay.
What else? Yeah, keep an eye out for, every next Monday is going to be What If Tomorrow podcast. We cover more of the preparedness aspect. We get a little more into the, not necessarily the woo, but just more maybe conspiratorial things. But we also try to relate it to real world and kind of give our thoughts and take on that. Try not to get overly political. Sometimes we do. That's just, it's a game of roulette. So yeah, come over and support us there if you're just listening here, if you're tuning in.
We don't
With
even
that-
know what we'll say.
Absolutely. Unscripted. With that being said, guys, thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next episode.
Good night, folks.
Have a good night.